What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're taking care of a maintenance item that most Toyota owners are unaware of. We're going to be changing out the oil control valve filters, also known as OCV filters or VVT filters on our Toyota, so stay tuned. So if you've got a Toyota with a VVT engine like the 4Runner, Tacoma, FJ Cruiser, Tundra, and many Lexus models, these tiny filters play an important role in keeping our variable valve timing healthy and therefore our engines efficient, quiet, and smooth. They are cheap, small, and easy to replace. So today I'll show you exactly where these filters are on the 5th Gen 4Runner, how to replace them, and what symptoms you might experience if they get clogged. So this 4Runner behind me has hit 100,000 miles. And to me, this seems like a good time to check the oil control valve filters. I'm pretty methodical with my maintenance and do frequent oil changes, but I always like to err on the side of caution with these things. The main concern or issue here is sludge. Sludge will slowly clog these filters up over time. So if you do extended oil changes or suspect that the previous owner may have neglected maintenance, then there is a good chance sludge could be plugging up these filters to a certain degree, which could be affecting the vehicle's performance. So let's actually just talk about what the oil control valve filters do. So this just makes more sense. So these engines have what is called variable valve timing. This valve timing is controlled by your engine's computer or ECU to optimize performance. It basically moves the valve timing forward or backwards depending on engine RPM and load. And there are four main components to this process. So the first component is the oil itself, which is used for hydraulic pressure. Two, you have the oil control valve solenoid, which determines how much oil can pass through. Three, you have the ECU, which controls the position of that solenoid, which allows the oil to go through. And four, you have the VVT cam or gear, which internally rotates and changes the timing based on how much oil pressure reaches it, which is determined by the position of the oil control valve. So if this OCV filter gets plugged, then the correct oil pressure doesn't reach the VVT cam gear to either advance or retard the timing. If this happens, you may notice a rough idle, poor performance, increased MPGs, and even increased engine noise, especially at idle. If you're noticing any of these symptoms and have a high mileage vehicle, then it might be a good idea to check these filters. If you do check these filters, just make sure to replace the crushed washers if they're good and you don't need to change the filter. It's a simple procedure to either check or replace these. So let's jump into what you'll need to do the job.
So here are the parts that you will need to do the job. We have 2 filters, one for each side, and then you will have a total of 4 crush washers. So 2 crush washers for each side. I will show you in the video why you need 4 in total. I will leave the Toyota part numbers and links to where I found these in the description below.
Let's move on to tools. All right, so for tools, super simple, super easy. We have a Phillips head screwdriver, a flathead screwdriver, a 1/2-inch socket, an extension, a 17 mil socket, a 12 mil socket, and a torque wrench. You're also gonna want some cloths or shop towels.
So you will have 2 filters on each side of the engine in the same location as shown here in the Toyota factory service manual.
All right, so our first one is just located here under our oil fill. You can see it just right there, and that's a 17 mil. This one is super easy to get to. We can use a wrench or a ratchet and just break it loose. We will put a cloth down because we will have some oil that will drain out. One thing to be concerned about is your positive terminal up here. If you're moving something and you have an exposed terminal like this, the engine is grounded and you could short. So make sure you cover this up or take off your negative battery terminal. All right, let's move on to the other side. I'll show you that one. That one requires just a little bit more work, but it's nothing serious. All right, so here's our other one. Again, a 17 mil. It's basically a replica of the other side. The problem is we have the air box in the way. If you use a 17 mil wrench, you could easily loosen this and replace it, but you wouldn't be able to torque it up correctly with this being in the way. So I'm gonna remove the air box just so I can do the job properly and easily. So let's remove this air box now. We'll just start with this side. This is the more difficult side. We'll get that out of the way, move to the other side, and that side will just be a breeze. Let's do it. All right, so we'll start off by removing this little clip here. So just use a flathead screwdriver and just push down, and that should release the clip up. And then we have the mass airflow sensor here. So we'll just disconnect that, push in, kind of wiggle it around a little bit, and then it will come loose. And then we also have another clip down here on the side of the airbox. So we'll just pop that one up and clip right here. Great, and then our wiring harness is now kind of free from the airbox. And then we just have a large kind of hose clamp here. So we'll take a large Phillips head screwdriver and we'll just loosen this up. That should be good. All right, now we got 4 of these to undo. So I'll pop this one here, one there, and there's one back here. Great, and now we can pull this up and we should be able to just pull that right out, okay? We'll put this off to the side. Inspect your air filter. Mine looks, fairly good. All right, so we now need to remove this part of the air cleaner assembly. So there's 3 12mm bolts. There's 2 inside and there's 1 just back here, kind of under this wiring harness. All right, so we got the 3 bolts now. This should just come right out. All right, so with the air box out of the way, we have great access to the 17mm bolt here. So let's get some cloths down here, some rags to kind of catch the oil that's gonna inevitably leak out of this, and then we'll change that filter. Let's pop it open. All right, 17mm. All right, so there's the filter. And mine looks pretty darn clean. All right, guys, so as you can see, my filter is pretty clean here. A little bit of grime there. Oil's looking pretty dirty. Definitely need to do an oil change. But yeah, we'll just slide this one out, slide off the old washer. We'll put that new washer on, and we'll pop our new filter in. Great, so now ready to put this back onto the engine. So looking at this one, there's a little varnish on it. But really, it's in pretty darn good shape. Surprisingly good condition. Some people actually clean these and reuse them, but this plastic could get brittle. You might damage it a little bit or crack it, then you put it back in and it would be bypassing the filter. They're so cheap, I'm just gonna replace it. But yeah, we're ready to slide this in. So let's do that now. All right, so you will have a washer on the outside, a crush washer here, but we also have one on the inside here that we need to replace. So using a small flathead screwdriver, we can slide this one out of position. Push this away. Now the nice thing about this and the way they've designed this is there's a little metal kind of catch at the bottom. The engineers did us a favor there. So it won't slide down. You'll have to kind of slide it off to the side and then up. But once you put your new one in, it will kind of hold it in a position. Then we'll slide the new filter in place and it should kind of pull it in a position and then we'll tighten it up. So we'll put our replacement washer in there and now we'll tighten it up. All right, so we'll carefully slide this filter in. And we'll tighten this down to 48 foot-pounds of torque. All right, let's get the air box back on. All right, so I'm gonna put a cloth over my positive terminal here, and then we'll put another cloth down underneath here to catch any oil that comes out. All right, so I have a 17mm. All right, now I'm just gonna crack this loose. Oh, there we go. All right, let's take a look at this one. All right, so some pretty nasty oil came off of this thing, but it doesn't look too dirty. It actually looks pretty good to me, so I'm pretty happy with that. So we'll just swap this one out. Let's of course change this crush washer. These really like to get stuck on here. So there's a little grime, some varnish on there. All right, let's pop this in. All right, so we'll slide this one in, push it up there and just start threading it on. You might need to push these wires just in a little bit to get this socket on, but it is doable. So we'll just get it on there snug and then we'll switch over to our torque wrench. There we go. All right, she's on there. And that's it, job is done. All right guys, so that completes the job of changing those OCV valve filters. Super easy job to do, it would take you about 35 minutes. The filters themselves are like $10 each, and maybe a couple dollars for the crush washers. Super simple, super easy to do. Mine were in great shape, so if you do frequent oil changes, if you're still relatively low mileage, I think you'd be okay. If you're worried about sludge or you don't know what previous owners have done, not a bad idea to just at least check them out and replace the crush washers. You can maybe try cleaning them out, but at $10 a piece, I would just honestly replace them. I will leave links to everything in the description below. All the details will be there. I hope you guys found this video useful. If you did, please like and subscribe. We'll come up with a lot more videos, and I always appreciate your guys' support. I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye now.